Oi, 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 lads. It's another episode of Lads Product Reviews. You know the lads.
You know the lads, the ones out there making their own ham.
Oh, lads. We got the ham at market now. We're going to be raking it in come Christmas. Won't have to do these knife reviews anymore. We can go down to the Bahamas and review yachts and not have to wear shoes. And oh, yeah. Anyways, we're going to be doing a review of the Kizer Tomb today. The Tomb. The Tome. Tomb. I'm pretty sure it's Tomb. We're being weird. So little story, I guess. I had first seen the Tomb when Kizer was doing their Halloween releases. They were doing like a special glow in the dark version of the Tomb, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then when the releases actually launched, you kind of had to do, you had to get on the website quick and get some of your orders done. And they either sold out or they didn't sell out. And the Tomb sold out, and I was like, all right, well, I'll get some other knives that they still have. But I thought the glow in the dark was pretty cool. Month and a half later or whatever, I was cruising the Amazon website, not the actual Amazon, and I noticed that there was a wood and brass version of the Tomb that popped up, and so it looked a lot like a coffin, and I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. And so I clicked on it to see what other versions there were of it, and there was this blue topographical, and I was like, hold up, the blue topographical is where it's at. This thing's, I love the scales on this thing, so awesome. I think it's one of their better looking scales, especially in the Tomb. I like the blue and black. Not as spooky themed, so it's a little out of place with the shape and stuff of the knife. But I thought it was cool, and I kind of like the handle's a little weird being the shape of a tomb, but it's not too bad in the hand. They have this chamfered edge here, so it's not like a sharp edge. It tapers down. You have a good grip on it. Like, yeah, it's not the what you would generally think of with a knife handle, but it works strangely. You got grip and stuff. Maybe in the rain outside it would be bad, but like indoors, it's not bad. It's grippy. You got a little choil out here for more grip and further leverage and stuff, and the jimping goes out a long ways. And this is technically a pretty decent length of blade here. We got the sand polish, and then there's the focus. There's a little bit of a separate sharpening choil right here. I'm not sure why they did the sharpening choil separate from the regular choil. It looks a little funky, almost like you took a chip out of the back of the cutting edge. But other than that, it looks all right. I mean, I like the sand polish finish, or the stone polish finish. Sorry. And you just have the button here. It is technically you could call it a top liner lock, but it's kind of accessing the liner more Oh, no, I'm mistaken. It's not a top liner lock. It's a plunge lock. I'm sorry. And then the one other thing, and it's gonna be like if the if this handle didn't, you know, turn you off to the knife itself. This might the fact that it is just a front flipper knife. That's the only way to deploy it. You do have a couple of methods for how to use the front flipper. But they wanted to keep the blade profile slim while it's not deployed, so that you're not taking away from the coffin aesthetic of the handle. So it's slim. It doesn't have as much of a closed profile, but that does mean that your deployment methods are a little bit limited. As far as front flippers go, though, this is one of my favorite front flippers. I feel like the way the blade itself is weighted with the handle, it closes really, really well, and it deploys really, really well. My left hand was a little bit too close there. But yeah, you can engage the front flipper with your thumb, engage it with your index finger on the side, kind of rolling it, and then if you wanted to, you can come from back behind there and flip it with the index finger like that, almost as if there was a back flipper back here, but it's right there. But there's enough material there you can get a leverage on it. And then you can also do something like gravity drop it if you want. But like I said, I feel like the weight balance on the knife is really, really good. Real quickly, I did have to adjust the pivot on here because I apparently had put it away and the pivot was loose and the blade was off center. But I just tightened it and it looks like we are back dead center. You've got a T8 pivot screw. I think the yeah. Oh wait. I thought we were T6. Why is that one doing that? Did they send me a rounded off T6 knife? If I put the T6 in there, it feels fine. Oh, I think that one pocket clip might be stripped. But the other one's T6. What's this body screw back here? Well, the body screw's a T8. Yeah, so you got a T8 for that body screw. Yeah, a T8 for the pivot. Yeah, that cool. You've got one T6 and one T6 that's foobarred. So hopefully I won't have to take the pocket clip off of this guy. And then it's kind of hard to see, but the liners inside, they're skeletonized to look like a skeleton. And I mean, it's hard for me to get the camera on it, and it's hard to notice it, but I mean, it's kind of fun. It was a little detail though that Kizer didn't have to do, but they did it, and it's a hidden detail, and it's a little fun. It goes with the aesthetic of the knife. Let's go ahead and jump right into size comparisons. All of the knives we will be comparing it to are $100 or less. I don't know if I mentioned, but that was Nitro V on the blade. We'll start off with our small knives, with our CRKT Drifter and the James brand Redstone. Obviously much bigger in the handle and the blade on both of those. We'll go to our medium knives, and today for this review, it's going to be a Ultim Frenzy PEI Fest. So we got up here the Civivi Elementum 2 button lock, and then the Kizer Original 2 Halloween edition. Handle is a little bit bigger on the Tomb than both knives, and it looks like the cutting edge on the original 2 is a little bit longer, but this is a fatter blade. Then we'll jump into our slightly larger sized knives. We got the CRKT Squid XM and the Spyderco Tenacious. Got a bit extra for the cutting edge on the Squid XM. Got a little bit, got quite a bit more handle there. And then about pretty close handle size on the Tenacious, and I think we're going to have quite a bit more cutting edge on the Tenacious. So we know the handle's quite a bit longer in size to most of the knives we brought out to compare to. Let's go ahead and do a width comparison with the Civivi. I feel like the Civivi is a pretty thin, easy to carry knife, and it's actually a little bit, not on camera, a little bit thinner with the than the Civivi. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit more handle lengthwise, but it's not quite as thick as some of the other carries. Definitely going to be a much bigger handle folded up to carry than our small knives. The tension on the pocket clip's really good, even though that screw is stripped, which I did not know. Kind of upset about that. Lock engages and disengages real well. Closes super fast. It feels like the detent is really, really good. Yeah, and I feel like a big part of that is the weight of the blade, with it being so long. It's got like a good counterbalance to it. And then because of the way they had to do the lock and stuff, I feel like there's quite a bit of flipper out here. It's almost like, dare I say, trebuchet-like with the counterweight. And it's kind of cool that it's just the pivot screw, those two screws, and the body screw down there. It's kind of minimalist in a way. And for me, I didn't feel like it was a big deal only having just having a front flipper. Yeah, there's times where, if I was fidgeting and stuff, that I would want to occasionally thumb flick it or reverse flick it. But obviously, that's not an option because it's got no thumb studs. But I feel like because there's so much material out here and the blade's so long, and so much of that is jimped really, really well, it's a good front flipper. So I feel like the action on it's really, really good. I think they're probably around $45 to $55 each, if I remember right. There's the pricing's kind of weird right now because a lot of things will come up on like a flash sale, especially on Amazon. So you'll see some things like suddenly go like $22, and then like 6 hours later you go back and be like, oh, holy crap, it's gone back up to like 45. Holiday pricing and stuff. Trying to get some things moved, I suppose. So I mean, I feel like the Nitro V cut really, really well on things that I did cut with it. And I feel like the edge is still there, definitely. I'm trying to get a piece of paper to cut with. Yeah, so I mean, it's ripping a little. Yeah, not the greatest, but it's still cutting. I could probably touch it up some. It still definitely would plow right through cardboard and things like that. But like, you're not gonna make like a real clean, awesome. Oh, never mind. That one wasn't as good. That one was definitely good. Yeah, so, alright, I guess I was wrong. This thing still definitely cuts well. And closes well. The balance is great. The coffin aesthetic, I'm kind of like, but I love the topographical scales. I like the blue and black. I like the blade. The coffin is the one thing where I'm like not 100% on board, but I do think it's cool. And like I said, I do think the front flipper works really well. But I do know that it's going to be like one thing that some people are going to be like, oh, just a front flipper, I'm gone, I'm out. That's fair. You can do you. That's cool. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with me with a front flipper. I still like them. Like back flippers, like thumb holes, like thumb studs. All forms of deployment are beautiful. There, I said it. Flame me in the comments. As we go into wrapping up the video, I'm gonna make sure to let you guys know that down below there is a pinned comment with links to Patreon, Instagram, King's Camo Outdoor Gear. The Patreon link is for the YouTube page. The Instagram links for the YouTube page. Then we go into the affiliate links. I muffed that. That's all right. King's Camo Outdoor Gear, Priority Tires, Crossman Air Rifles, Raven Crossbows, Dubby Energy Drinks. That URL should automatically put in a 10% discount code, but if it doesn't, just put in lads_fuel 2025 at checkout under your code, and it'll give you 10% off. Pisca Fun Fishing Supplies, Zeal Pet Food, Tideweed Duck Hunting Supplies, Norman Walsh Footwear, 2-Page Curtains, Rexy Dash Cams, Ulanzi Filming Gear, Sarabama Watches, Thermocup Self-Heating Mug, YCZ Fragrances, and Abracadabra New York City Collectibles and Apparel. Obviously, you could buy things from those links, and it would totally help out the channel as we do get a commission. And I try to pick stuff that I think kind of matches a little bit with the channel, and things that I think are interesting. So go ahead and peruse. If also you want to help out the channel, but none of those things seem like they're of interest to you, you go ahead and like and subscribe, comment on the videos, and watch the next ones. Speaking of which, we'll see you in the next video. All right, thanks everyone.